Hey, Davion, yeah, your three-point shot looked really good tonight. How does that open up your offensive game as you become a better three-point shooter?
It helps our team. I mean, we can space out the floor. We can play four guards, and they can't really help as much as as they used to. So because I got pretty well at shooting basketball.
And how did you feel like the defense played tonight?
It wasn't as good. I mean, we haven't played in a long time, so that first win was pretty hard. I mean, we played much faster, so it was kind of hard to. I don't know. It was different for us, so I feel like we can do some things to get better, but we'll keep working on it.
Thanks, Davion.
Next question comes from Jason Orts with the Waco Tribune-Herald.
Davion, after all of the confusion and the frustration of trying to get a game scheduled, just how good did it feel just to get out there tonight?
It felt real good. I mean, we was we're not complaining, but we had a hard time in practice. Like, man, we want to play different people. We're tired of playing each other, so it felt real good to see another team.
And it was a close game early. You know, they got the 4-point trip with the technical foul there, and then you guys going about a 15-0 run. You know, what did you see turn kind of in that moment? I guess what kind of clicked for you guys?
I feel like during that time we got a couple stops. I mean, we played real hard in the defensive end, which led to transition and easy buckets. So I think that's what it was.
And you guys did a really good job of sharing the basketball tonight. Just how big of a function is that with this team, and just how unselfish do you feel like this group is?
It's real big for our team. I mean, especially because anyone can go off any night. So, I mean, just spreading the ball, passing the ball. I mean, we're going to share the sugar. I mean, we're going to have fun.
Thanks, Davion.
Next question from Willie Ramirez with the Associated Press.
Davion, as Jason mentioned, there was a point there that that they pulled within one, and then you guys just went off. And once you hit the 33-22 edge, you never relinquished a double-digit lead. Did it just take a little bit to sort of get the chemistry back? And once you got it, just seemed like the old flow again, because it really just seemed as if this was watching last year's team with a lot of the tendencies, the defensive prowess, the offensive prowess, and the way that y'all work together once you sort of just established that double-digit lead.
It did take some time, I feel like. I mean, especially for me. I mean, that first minute I was winded, and I feel like everyone else was winded. So, I mean, after we got our legs under us and we caught our breath, we felt fine.
Next question from Will Chambly with the Baylor Lariat.
What kind of impact did LJ and Adam have, the new guys on the floor, coming in and scoring like that and helping you guys on offense?
It's real big, especially for our bench. I mean, they're coming in, they can score the ball just as well as the starters. I mean, they could be starters, so, I mean, it's a real good thing for our team.
Next question from Darby Brown with KWTX-TV.
Yeah, what was it like having Coach Tang out there with you guys tonight, and kind of, not having Coach Drew out there? What was that like?
It was different, but, I mean, in practice, we kind of split our teams up, and Coach Tang is the coach for one team, and then Coach Drew's coach for one team. So we kind of knew how he coached and how he wanted the team ran.
All right, that's all the questions we have for Davion. Everybody hang tight. We'll get Coach Tang in here shortly. Thanks, Davion.
Offense was fantastic. What allowed the offense to be so successful to open the season?
I'm not trying to be funny, but the shots went in. Like that's when I felt like we took a lot of uncontested shots, and that was teammates, creating shots for each other. I think we had 25 assists, 45 baskets, and I'm pretty sure when we break down this film, there won't be too many, especially in the second half, too many what we would grade as a tough shot. I thought we got a lot of really good looks, and the guys shared the ball, found their teammates.
And when you mentioned the film, the camera angle was not the best for those of us that were watching on Flow Hoops TV. Defensively, how did you feel like you guys did? And did you open the second half in zone?
Well, when you look at the scoreboard and they scored 82 points, that automatically doesn't make you a happy camper. When you look at the stat sheet and they shot 52% from the field, that also does not make me a happy camper. In the second half, we did not open in the zone, but we did give a zone look. I couldn't hear you. I'm sorry.
I was saying I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem.
Next question from Jason Orts with the Waco Tribune-Herald.
Coach, you're up 22-21. You know, they just had the 4-point trip with Mark Vital getting the technical there, and then you guys going about a 15-0 run there. What did you see from the team? Did you kind of see things loosen up at that time?
I think we kind of got our legs a little bit. Like you could tell the first 3 minutes of the game, 4 minutes of the game, you could see like the guys really winded. And this is the first time in 266 days they've stepped on the court and played against somebody else. And game speed is so much different than, practice, when you have an opponent out there. And they were really, really hyped. And so Mark's tech was more of an era of commission. He was just so fired up, and in a normal setting with fans and stuff, the referee would have never called a tech in that situation. And but I felt like we got our legs underneath us and kind of focused in a little bit more. And our depth too, like we subbed and they subbed, and I just felt like we got better when we subbed, and that really helped.
Sure.
And then coming out
Next
of
question
halftime,
comes from Nikki Lattarulo with KCEN TV.
Okay. Hi, Coach. So you guys put up 112 points in your first game back in a arena without fans or anything. What was like the mindset of the team when you went into the locker room at half? Because coming out of the half, it seems like a totally different team.
We really tried to do a better job of guarding in the second half and really making it a little tougher for them so that we could create some transition things. And it's going to take a little while. It's going to take a little while. I knew, and I think Scott would say this too, like we knew we had a good offensive team coming into the season. And so now it's about whether we can do the things on the nights when we don't make shots. So I think the guys at halftime just said, look, we can get open shots. Let's get each other open shots and then shoot them when you're open. And it happened.
Next question from Darby Brown with KWTX TV in Waco.
Yeah, hey, Coach. LJ Cryer going 5 for 7 from behind the arc in his first game. I mean, did you expect to see that tonight, and how happy are you to see that from him so early?
Very happy. LJ is the second leading all-time scorer in Texas high school basketball history, and every day he gets to play against the best guards in America, and there are a lot of days that he does not look like a freshman. And so our guards, our team trust him. And, I thought the play of the game, there was a sequence in the game where LJ hit a 3, and then we went on the other end and Adam Flagler took a charge, and we were going to call a set for Adam and because to reward him for taking the charge. And Adam said, no, run it for LJ. And so, when you've got guys who love each other and they want to see each other be successful, LJ's learning some valuable things away from him. He can always put the ball in the hole, but he's learning so much about being a great teammate and what it takes to be successful at this level. And he could be the best freshman guard we've ever had. I don't know if playing time will allow him to get those type of accolades, but he's going to be an all Big 12 guy before it's all said and done.
Next question from Willie Ramirez with the Associated Press.
Jerome, we can touch back on the defense. Last year, the team forced 15 or more turnovers in 18 of 30 games. Tonight, you forced 19. I know you said they put up 82, so you're not a happy camper, but is there a benchmark that you look at or try to focus on in terms of trying to have that defensive tenacity?
Well, the number 2 analytic staple for that leads to victory from the defensive side of things is turnover percentage. And so the turnover percentage is important to us. And we try to have it 22.5 or better if we can. And so I don't know exactly how the numbers translate yet. And but we do want to cause turnovers because that gets us out in transition. I felt like we guarded well to the end, and then we bailed them out either by fouling or, going for a steal when we could have just been solid and they would have given us the ball. And so those are some areas where we can get better at.
Final question for Coach Tang comes from Will Chambly with the Baylor Lariat.
Coach, Freddie was such a big part of the team last year. How do you feel like Flo and Jonathan did filling in for that role tonight in their first, or at least for Jonathan, his first collegiate game with Baylor?
Well, Jonathan and Flo are going to be a work in progress through the season. The thing about Freddie Gillespie is that he never missed a ball screen call, and he could guard. He not only guarded the ball but he knew where his man was. And then when he was off the ball, he could guard two people. And right now, Flo and Jonathan, they can only guard their guy. And about 80% of the time they get the right ball screen coverage call. So that's a big thing to replace right now. And the only way you get good at that or better at is experience. And so we're going to have to play some games and come along. That was the one thing I think in the locker room when I pulled those two aside. I just thought that we didn't have any rim protection tonight. We didn't vertical contest. We didn't take any charges. Didn't have block shots. We didn't take away the strong shoulder of the opponent. And so that's an area that especially for tomorrow night, because Washington's such a big team, we're going to have to improve.